What is good, people? Welcome back to the channel. KG is back, and it's time for a brand new video. Talking today, Leeds United. Going to be speaking in particular about Brenden Aaronson and also Danny Farke's comments after the game yesterday, which kind of mirror some things that I've said, and also address a few of your comments because, as always, when we don't win a game, the comments fluctuate into a bit of chaos, a bit of madness, if you will. So I'm going to be speaking about a couple of those. Before I do, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, of course, drop your comments and thoughts below. Thank you to Mr. P and William Morrison for the super thanks on the last video. Much appreciated, guys. And if you want to become a member of the channel, the link is in the description. By the way, Elimination Chamber last night. This is why I look a little bit tired today. It was worth it. What a show. Absolute cinema. But getting into this, Daniel Farke said a few things that I definitely agree with. And I want to start here. He did say that it's not frustration, but you have to live with the draw sometimes. We're used to winning home games. Disappointing not to win, but sometimes you live with it. We started excellent, nervous after so much emotion and big games. If we would be on it, we were from the start. But then this is the next bit I want to put in, because this is exactly what I said in my match reaction yesterday. We allowed ourselves to enjoy it too much, went too many times for complicated passes, went into duels with 98% rather than 100. You could see it coming. We did not fight in the games before, lacked concentration in the passes. It's exactly what I said yesterday in terms of us after we scored the goal, thinking that the job was done. And I think Danny Farke has kind of said that there. And that is something I expect them to rectify come the next game against Portsmouth away. I think they're going to be definitely working over that in training, knowing that they cannot drop the intensity just for 10, 15, 20 minutes. They're going to go again. And that's why I'm confident we're going to, not see this again, I hope. Because, it was two huge games that we come through. But then I think we did take this one too easy. I don't think we showed West Brom the respect that, professional footballers probably deserve overall. You just talk about the late chances from Joseph and James, needing to take those. But the next bit was that I wanted to. This was one. You could argue they did not deliver. Hold on, let me just say this. Had most offensive midfielders on from the start, you may lose ball winning ability, but kept them on to find the goal we needed. You could argue they did not deliver and we needed more running in transition. Rothwell's set piece quality had to be kept on. That's something else I want to address, because I've mentioned a couple of poor performances yesterday, but Rothwell didn't cover himself with glory either. And even a few of his deliveries, he did have a couple of good ones, but some of them weren't good. Some of them weren't good yesterday from Joe. And the fact that he was kept on just for his set piece quality, does that mean that we've got the championship James Ward-Prowse here? You know what I mean? It's one of those where he was literally kept on in case he could deliver a good ball in the dying embers of the game. But Joe Rothwell, this is another conversation, and I've already spoke about Rothwell on a previous video as to why we cannot sign him for the Premier League. This is just another example of that. It's another game where his qualities that he can show at this level, they didn't come through yesterday. And at home against West Brom, that's where Joe Rothwell should be shining. That's where he should be coming up with the goods and making fans go, that's why we need Joe Rothwell signed. But it was very ineffective from Joe yesterday. And the fact that he was kept on for his set piece quality alone kind of says it all. And people are saying we should sign him because we need a set piece taker. Newsflash, people, there are other players out there that can play well and take set pieces. I know that's crazy talk, but it's true. It's true. It's damn true. And this is it. And again, something else I said yesterday in terms of Dan James, but Danny Farke, we had to keep Peru and James on because they're in such good form and we know they can produce late on. And that's what I said with Dan James. I know a few of you were talking about Dan James. He could have come off, but I said the same thing. With DJ, even he can be quiet, so quiet, but you know that there's a little moment in the game where his pace, he'll get in behind, he'll either score or he'll either assist. And that's why you keep on someone like Dan James. He's very different from a Solomon, Ramazani, Nanto, who are more the technical players who look for space, look to invade space. He will just bulldoze his way through. And sometimes you need that in the game, especially late on. So I do understand that decision also, and especially with Joe Peru as well, in the form he's been. And this was the main thing from Danny Farke, because this came up quite a few times in the comments. We have a turnaround like this. It should be possible for young men like Junior and Jaden with their fitness and age to recover. If they did not, we would have a problem. You cannot always expect our fullbacks to deliver an attack. And again, I cannot disagree with this. I cannot disagree with this, because a few of you were talking about the players are tired. Guys, we've had, just in the last few games, we've had Sunderland on a Monday, Sheffield United on a Monday, and then we've turned around to an early Saturday kickoff, like more than what 4 or 5 days later. That is more than enough time for players, professional football players, to recover. And I want you to go and look at Premier League teams, and because this is where we're trying to head to. The teams at the bottom where we will be next season, they play basically once a week. So if they cannot maintain that, that means your best Premier League side isn't going to be out every week. And I'm telling you now, it doesn't happen. The fitness and everything goes up when you're in the Premier League. It has to. You have to be switched on physically and more importantly mentally, so you can read the game a bit quicker. But I absolutely agree with Danny Farker. This isn't like we've been playing Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, Saturday, Wednesday, Wednesday, Sunday. We haven't been doing that. We will have a scenario where that comes up soon, but this has been more than enough time for these players to get fit, get rested, recover well, and go into the next game. All yesterday was a game where the players didn't turn up for the full 90 minutes. Fitness, I have to highly disagree with everyone thinking that some of them look tired. I can't agree with that because these are professional footballers. And if they're tired, then that's an issue within itself. It's a big issue if you feel that a player's been tired after just, playing in irregularly like we have been over the past few weeks. More than enough time to recover people. And Danny Farker is on the money with that one. See, I'm fair, people. If Danny Farker says something I agree with, I say I agree. If he says something I disagree with, I disagree. It's just called being fair. But I do agree with him in terms of fitness. And with that, Sheffield United did win their game yesterday, people. So they are just 3 points behind. Obviously, it's basically four without superior goal difference. But it's time for us to get back on the winning trail next week. But before next week happens, we do need to speak about the team and one position in particular. There will be others that we need to speak about as well, and we'll do that in the preview. But I think it was glaringly obvious with Brenden Aaronson, especially over the last couple of games for me, he has not delivered. And I'm not just talking about his assist total. People look at his assist total, there's two, and say that's super low. It is low, but with Brenden, he's been involved. And please don't try and rewrite history here, people. He's been involved in kind of like the pre-assist to the assist, where he's linking the play, and he has done that on many occasions this season. But but pressing isn't enough as a 10. It's not. That's basically just having like an aggressive defensive midfielder. In the 10, you need to come up with moments. You need to come up with goals. You need to come up with influence in that final third. And in the past two games for Brenden, he has not been effective. I said yesterday in the match reaction, it wasn't until the second half when I saw him running at a centre back for West Brom that I remembered he was on the pitch. It was a real poor performance. And the Sheffield United one, I don't know if it was worse. They're probably as bad as each other. But from that vantage point of Farke being above, he was out of his dugout against Sheffield United. He took him off in less than 60 minutes, which is very unlike Farke. Took him off yesterday after just over 60 minutes. Again, unlike Farke. And Brenden Aaronson is usually the one where even if he's having a quiet game, Farke will leave him on because he'll come up late. He'll be involved in a play at some point, and it's like, that's why he's kept Brenden on. And he's done that to his credit, Brenden Aaronson. But there is something for me called do you deserve to keep your spot in the side? Now we're away against Portsmouth next, and we know that Farke will want Brenden Aaronson's pressing away from home, but does he deserve that? What have the players on the bench not done in order to get Aaronson moved to the bench for a game or two? And I'm not saying Brenden has to be permanently dropped, but this is where you use your squad. This is where you use your squad and say, all right, Brenden, you haven't been up to the level in the past couple of games. Ramazani, Nanto, whoever it may be, Joseph, if you want to put it Peru just behind Joseph, you're coming in for a game, and let me see how that works. Brenden, sit this one out, get the hunger back. Because Brenden Aaronson has started over 30 league games in a row. He's basically been an automatic starter where his place hasn't been under threat. I think you need to kind of change that too. I think he needs to know there's jeopardy if he doesn't keep the performances up. And I think dropping him for the next game would send out a big message in that instance. And listen, Brenden Aaronson could start the next game and score a goal against Portsmouth. He could come up with an assist. He could come up with the pre-assist to the assist. That's what he's done in games. But I'm talking about meritocracy here. You've got to be fair to the rest of your squad who are champing at the bit to start and say, well, Gaffer, he's playing like this and I'm doing this in training. How can you not give me a start, man? You know what I mean? And I think those conversations probably do happen. Don't know. I know these conversations happen behind the scenes. Danny Farker then has to prove that Brenden Aaronson isn't a favorite of his and he can drop him. But will he though? That's the question, people. And would you drop him? Okay. And let me just say this once again, because I know I probably should have done this at the start of the Brenden Aaronson conversation. I think Brendan has done a fine job this season overall. I do. But when people are out of form, that's when you use your squad for me. And he's no different to anyone else. He's not Messi. He's not Ronaldo. You know, he is not Rui Costa. He is Brenden Aaronson, and he is rotated. He can be rotated like anybody else, in my opinion. But that is it in terms of that for me. Just tell me what you would do with Brenden Aaronson away to Portsmouth next. And that is the video, people. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please like the video before you go. Really does help out the channel. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I'm going to take a little rest now. Look at me. Not good, not good. I'll see you in the next video, people. Peace out.